Pretty much the same thing you did with your the pretest data in entering it on the Excel spreadsheet here. It should look something like this. I've started adding a couple numbers here, and just hit return to work your way down. We'll assume that maybe they did a little bit better on the post-test than on the pre-test, and you'll notice down here that it does keep a running average of what your scores are. If that's still down there, I'll show you again how to put that back there if it's not there. So here's the same worksheet with the numbers added in for all the first standard, the second standard, and the third standard on the post test. Kind of like the cooking shows with the cake that's already baked in the oven. Here we go. But it's not, everything's not done here, because you have your post-test total that you need yet, and you get that the same way as we mentioned before. You have to go over here to the formulas. You use your formula builder, remembering to click that first square first, and then you are going to look to average the post-test scores. So you double click on that. We go to holding down the command button. We click the first number, the second number, and the third number there that we want to have averaged together for our post-test score. Hit return, and we're all good. We had two 50s and a 75, and that brought us up to a little over 58. Remember, what we want to do is we want to do the same thing for all of the numbers below it. So you just kind of grab that corner and bring it down here, and there you go. You have all the numbers again. Remember, so we don't need to have this all those decimal points. They get a bit distracting. So you go back to the main home page, go over here, and just start clicking them away until they get to whole numbers there. Now you have, for each student, you have the pre-test, post-test, you have their total. Now we have the growth number to consider, because we've had the same information that we had for the pre-test. Now here for the post-test, let's take care of that growth number. And what we want to do is, again, using the formula builder, we're going to want to subtract this score, the post-test score, or we're going to want to subtract the pre-test score from the post-test score to see how they grew. So you could see down here, if you had a student that had 100 and they had a 50 before, you're going to want to subtract the 50 from the 100. So again, formulas, you'd go to the formula builder, which is already here. You'd come down here to add, subtract, and multiply, and you want to take this number and subtract this number. Now, the thing you have to remember to do is to go over here where it says add and change that to subtract. Okay, so we clicked on the box, we clicked on the first number, which was the post-test, clicked on the second number, which was the pre-test, came over here after having chosen the arithmetic function, and said we want to subtract. If you don't remember that, it has add there, and it will do that automatically. You hit return, and you went from a 0 to a 75, so we're all good here. So let's take that, stretch this down here. Whoops. Let's try that again. Take that, stretch that down there. And there's our growth score for the first standard. We'll do the second thing over here. We want to take this number and subtract this number, remembering to subtract. Hit return. We went from 0 to 50, so that looks good. Got all of our numbers in there. Now I'd already changed the decimal places, but I think these end up pretty much whole numbers anyway. So, all right, there's the last one. Clicking on the square, double clicking on this. Post test, pretest, return. Click on it again. Whoops, I didn't get the corner. Drag that down. Drag that down, and there we go. Now we need to do the same thing for the post test here. Now we could just average the growth for the whole test here. Looking at the growth for the test. Zap the formula builder there a second. Hitting subtract, we want to take this number and subtract this number. Change this to subtract, hit return. Looks good. Come over here. Bring that down. And there we go. The last thing, just to make sure that we have, in case this bottom line disappeared or something, and again holding down the shift key to come all the way over here, and I want to again average those. And the easiest way when you're doing a sum or an average or something, and it's at the bottom or at a column, is you go to the auto sum. We're doing averages, click on that, and we are all good. So you can talk about now, you have all the numbers to be chatting about how the students did in your class, how they did on Standard 1, Standard 2, Standard 3, how they did on the whole test when it comes to the pre and the post and the growth. And the next thing we're going to be doing is graphing this stuff.